Welcome to the boot. I'm Brian.
And I'm Monica. We've got the top 10 goals from the 2018 World Cup. Let's get into this.
All right. Love these goals. First one is Toni Kroos from Germany. And this is a really unique free kick.
Such great form.
Yeah, because it involves two players. We don't see this often. Let's take a closer look at this. So the first thing Toni does is he simply toes the ball to his teammate, Marco Reus. Reus simply puts his foot on top of the ball, and then Kroos takes one step. It seems so complicated at first when you see it because it takes the world by surprise.
It's really quite a clever little set play, isn't it?
Yeah, it's clever, it's simple, but it has to be executed perfectly, and they do. And what I think is interesting too is I don't hear much debate about where walls should go. Right here, you can see that the other team only has two men on the wall. Okay, I get it because it's from a very tight angle, but watch where this ball goes and tell me in the comments where you think the wall should be. Because all Toni's going to do is hit it around the wall, right? Take a look. It goes just to the right of the first player, who turns his back, admittedly. Now, does that ball even look like it's going to go in the goal?
No.
It looks like it's going way right. But Toni put just enough spin on it. It also looks like it's going high there. Look at that. It looks like it's rising still because he hit it so hard. And then the keeper extends his arm and it gets just past the keeper's hand. Inch perfect. Inch perfect. Love that. No wonder it made the top 10. Number 2, Ronaldo with an assist. Usually he's highlighted for the goals, of course. He doesn't get a lot of credit for this assist, but that was a nice little back heel, give and go, back to his teammate from Portugal, who picks up the ball, dribbles toward the goal, and takes a long-range shot from just outside the box. The keeper's fully extended. Almost inch perfect again. Just amazing from that far away. Let's take a little bit closer look here. With the outside of his foot, one of the only goals in that World Cup scored with the outside of the foot. And it took the defender and the goalkeeper by surprise because he just did it in stride. They really weren't expecting that. It took the whole world by surprise, frankly. Look how it's split right between them and just over the keeper's hand. Look at the fans. Gotta love the fans in the background every time we get one of these shots.
That's one of the advantages of outside the foot, right? It's a little bit of a surprise attack.
Yeah. Well, it also curves the opposite direction, right? So this is a one more reverse angle, as if you're the goalkeeper. This ball is actually going to move back into the left. So it starts out to our right-hand side here and works its way back to the left. Almost looks like it's going to go wide of the post. Look how it just splits all those defenders and curves back in at the last second. Phenomenal goal, but nice assist by Cristiano too.
Absolutely.
Got to give credit. Number 3, Nigeria. So Africa's on the board here. It was a header that came back to Nigeria's defender, and I love how he quickly controls this with his thigh. And just smooth as butter. As soon as it touches the ground, he's already spotted a teammate downfield, and he's going to deliver a long pass. His hips are closed. It doesn't look like he would have the power to do this, but oftentimes when your hips are closed, you get more leverage, so you can have a strong pass or a strong shot on goal. This one, you can see, starts to work its way downfield. And on the next slide here, it clears the opponent, so now Nigeria has a free run at goal. But watch what he does here. You think he's going to take a shot fairly early on. A couple things here. One, the defender knows that he's getting beaten. So he's literally trying to reach out and foul the Nigeria player by grabbing his jersey. What I really like about this is too many players go down too easily, and they lose 2 chances at goal. And what I mean by that is typically the referee is going to play on and still call that foul. So there's no need to go to ground. And this guy also knows it's a once-in-a-lifetime chance for a World Cup goal. So he's smart because I think had he not scored here, the referee would have called it back and Nigeria would have had a free kick and he would have got the foul. Watch what he does to make sure that this guy doesn't tackle him on this next slide here. He uses his muscle. Let's back up just one there, sorry. He uses his muscle here and he pushes the defender's arm away. It's like, no, you are not stopping me. And then he cuts in front of the defender to totally put him out of the play.
Smart move.
Yeah. And so here is our first look at the keeper. The keeper is in good position right now. But what the keeper is expecting is a shot on goal. He's not expecting the Nigeria player to cut it inside here. And what happens, Nigeria keeps dribbling until the keeper is off his feet. That's the key. He waited and waited until the keeper finally thought he was going to take a shot on goal. Now, he still has some work left to be done because there's one defender back and a second defender coming to help him. So we'll zoom in here just a little bit after this first shot. This first perspective, you can see he puts it in the back of the net. In the right corner. Well done.
Look at that celebration. But aren't those the moments that we just live and die for as football fans?
Well, I had to put this one in too because it's almost like he's an eagle right now. He's got his arms spread out and he's leaning to one side, not just the regular straight out, so he's going back and forth. But let's have a better or a closer look at this cut. So he's cutting it inside the defender. Now the defender obviously can't do a single thing other than trip him and he'll get a penalty out of it.
Well, and he had a step on the defender to begin with, and so it helped, as you said, for him to knock the hand away and then to take that one more cut.
Yeah, but typically you don't have the speed to cut around the defender like that, but if you go back, you notice that he really leaned in, which was really smart. So we'll go back just a few slides here. He's really leaning in there.
Good chance either to, as he did, get ahead or pick up the foul.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is he's running so fast, he has to lean to be able to, turn. And so here's where he took the first fake shot on goal. I love fake shots on goal. They work almost all the time. Not enough players do that. Now the keeper is toast. And it's a matter of, does he have the calm and the nerves to put it away? Not the best defense here because this one defender continued his run instead of holding up, at least at this post. So he's standing right in the way of his other defender, not really helping out.
And it looks as though he's fallen a little bit. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's a little bit off balance. Sorry, you're talking about the Nigeria?
The defender.
Okay, but this is a good segue because so many times we hear coaching points, especially at the youth level, that are incorrect. There's only one way to do something. But this is a classic case where the Nigeria player leans back on purpose because he didn't want his momentum to mess him up. So he leans back, but yet the reason he doesn't hit the ball over the crossbar is because he hits the ball on the right spot of the ball. That's another thing that virtually never gets talked about, even at the highest levels, where to strike the ball. It's not so much your body positioning as it is at the end of the day, are you hitting the back of the ball or the very bottom of the ball? So what a goal for number 3. Well done, Nigeria. Nigeria makes it in here again, but just for a different reason. So we'll jump to this goal. Just the best fast break of the World Cup. This is Belgium near the end of the game against Japan, and it was a winning goal. Belgium wins 3-2. What a dummy here by Lukaku. He looks like he's going to strike the ball. He pulls the defender with him. Actually, he kind of bullies the defender too. He kind of knows at this point, if I do a dummy, there's no way that defender can turn around and cover the ball. So I got this shot to show the ball going right underneath Lukaku. It looked like he was going to take a shot on goal. The keeper is totally fooled. And so Lukaku, already running down the field, knew that his teammate was on his left. So this is all about experience and what I call vision. And these guys are experienced. I mean, Belgium has been there often, top 5 team in the world consistently. De Bruyne led the counterattack. Frankly, it was led by the keeper. I'll show that to you in a second. But he just leaves an easy tap in for his teammate here. I guess they're never easy, really. The keeper does a nice job of getting down quickly. A lot of keepers wouldn't have been able to get down so quickly. And so it is a game of inches, and that really just got by the keeper's hand by just a couple inches. and Belgium is celebrating like they won the World Cup. It was critical. Now, I love this sequence. This is a redo from up above. It's rare that we have truly a bird's eye view. This is a stadium where they got the camera right above. This fast break goes box to box in only 4 touches on the ball, if I remember correctly. So I'll even include the keeper. Courtois rolls the ball. No, he doesn't just aimlessly kick it or panic kick it even though the time is low. It's like he's bowling the ball to 𝐑𝐮 here at the top of the screen. He lays it on a platter for him. So let's just say that's touch number 1. Okay, there's 𝐑𝐮. Okay, that's his first touch. So that's 2 total touches. 𝐑𝐮 touches it again. This is the pass. You can see the ball to his right-hand side. This is touch number 4 now. This is a first-time touch too. The defender thought maybe he would dribble around him, but he's smart enough to see Lukaku in the middle. Why wait? You've got a fast break. Use your momentum. So that's touch number 4. Lukaku does that famous dummy, and his teammate makes touch number 5, a first-timer, to put the ball away. So they go the whole field in 5 touches in about 5 seconds. Literally, about 5 seconds. So, well done, Belgium.
And started with a good connection between the keeper and...
Yeah. Yep. And also, a lot of times you see keepers unnecessarily taking time and they're looking all professorial, like they're studying the field. The keeper should be thinking a step ahead just like everyone else on the field, and oftentimes the keeper doesn't. They're just so glad to catch the ball, whatever. They should always be doing this kind of thing. But it is a game of inches. Look, well done by the Japan keeper. Almost saved that. All right, on to the next goal. Russia, the host, with a phenomenal goal here. It starts as he runs across the field. Russia's in red, and it's a give and go. And watch how the Russia player just gently taps it back to the original player for Russia that had the ball. So it's a simple give and go, but sometimes it looks more technical because there's, Croatia's on the field and there's lots of players on the field. So, and it's inch perfect again. Modric is right here for Croatia. He even goes down to the ground, slide tackling, even trying to knock the ball away. He misses it. And what a first touch. He makes the first touch with his right foot. It comes over to his left side where he's got a wonderful left foot, and the rest is history. He delivers it, and the keeper is rooted to the ground.
Beautiful. Rooted
to the ground. And that was from outside the box. The next one is magical Messi in Argentina. So get ready for this. I still remember exactly where I was in Africa watching this goal. It's just amazing how we remember where we are when we watch World Cup goals.
Do you remember where you were?
Tell us
down below. Where were
you
during the 2018 World Cup? Where were you watching from? Let us know.
Comment and tell us where you're going to be watching the 22 World Cup, or where you did watch the 22 World Cup.
We happen to be in Tanzania, Africa.
So, you see how the midfielder has his head up, and I put an arrow over Messi. Oftentimes, it's the forward that's making the run first. Oftentimes, maybe holding their hand out ahead of themselves to signal to their teammate to pass the ball. In this case, veteran players again, and they're used to each other. And of course, so in this case, actually, the midfielder, I think, makes the connection first and decides to pass it. And it's up to Messi up front to know what he's doing. So they're definitely on the same page here. The midfielder's like, you know what? Messi's going to know what I'm doing here.
Well, all the people to leave it, the ball in their hands, Messi's the guy.
True. So this is just about when Messi starts his run. Messi already sees, okay, I see what he's doing. He's going to pass it downfield. I better get on my horse because I know I have room without being offsides. It'd be one thing if Messi was right on the edge of offsides. They would have to have maybe a little bit better connection or timing, but that was smart by the midfielder to say, you know what, Messi knows what I'm going to do here, and I see that he has a few yards to run before he goes offsides.
Well, when we speak of football IQ, Messi has to be leading the charts. So definitely up at the top.
Yeah.
He's just able to process so fast.
Yeah.
So fast.
I mean, I've analyzed so many of his goals, and again, when you break it down to things we're showing you that you do not see even on slow motion replay, which is why the best players and the best coaches in the world watch still shots like we do, and and you enjoy the game more, right? There's so many times where I finally get to go back to a highlight I break it down like this and I'm like, oh, this is an even better goal than I thought. You notice more. So on that point, let's notice Nigeria. You have to tip your cap to their defense right here. All the back four is in perfect line, and that's where you want your last defender is a little bit off to an angle there. So they're doing perfect. It's just that Argentina does even better. And this is a perfect goal. So watch how this unfolds. The ball is just over the Nigeria defender's head, going at full speed too. There's nothing that, it's not like the Nigeria defender misread this ball. The second that it was in the air, he was on it. But Messi had that extra step on him, and that's how come the fastest, you don't have to be the fastest player in the world to be a great football player. It's all about timing, because if a defender is stationary and you have an extra 1 or 2 step stride on him, you're almost always going to win.
Well, it's not prophecy either, right? It's that football IQ. If you're playing together, you're experienced, you know what each other's going to do, and you know what you ought to be doing.
Exactly.
You could be there.
And you know, right now Messi is processing about 5 things.
I'm sure.
And I'm going to break it down for you.
And going through his grocery list.
Right. So what is Messi processing right now? One is he could let the ball go over his head too, but he's already thinking, if I do, the ball's going to bounce on the ground and continue over to the corner, and that's going to take away my angle. He's also thinking, I am in the lead right now. I don't have an easy square pass to my teammate, so even more reason not to let it go wide. He's also thinking, I could head this ball, I could chest this ball, I could take it down on my thigh, or I could take it down on my foot. So there's so much, and people often ask me, do the best players in the world really process those many things that quickly? And they do, and that's what separates them from other players. So we will have a better angle to see this in just a moment, but I always like to give you the overview first. And look at Messi put it away in the far corner. With his right foot, by the way, I can't say that enough.
Because he's naturally left-footed.
Yes, thank you. We give kudos, for those that don't know, but we give kudos here, especially to the top players that use both feet effectively. De Bruyne, Cristiano, Messi, Haaland, and so forth. And there's frankly far too many players at the highest level that cannot and will not use both feet because they didn't learn as a young kid, but also they just never practiced enough. Messi has scored whatever 700 goals, but of those I think like over 200 are right-footed. So don't tell me Messi's a left-footed player. Yes, he's predominantly left-footed, and I don't like it also when announcers say his weaker foot. Was that a weaker foot by Messi? Okay, how many players in the world could put that away that
Is there a weaker goal? Is there a stronger versus a weaker World Cup goal?
True. They're all good. So, kudos to Messi. And let's break this down with a couple other angles. He takes this on, now you can see it. He took that 60-yard pass off his thigh.
Incredible.
In stride. In stride. That's not only a top World Cup goal, but that's the only time out of thousands of goals I've seen where a player has taken it down in stride on their thigh. But it gets even better.
Well, now he's taking it down in stride while the defender coming upon him is only doing one thing, running as fast as he can to catch up. He's got one thing, and Messi is quite literally juggling multiple things at this moment.
Exactly, and that's one of the things that's on Messi's mind here, is that he wants to keep his momentum here. So he's already factored in exactly where on his thigh he's thighing this ball. Because if he thighs it too far towards the defender, it's going to bounce toward the defender. He knows he needs to keep this ball straight in front of him, but not too far to his right, which takes him off to a bad angle. So he's calculating all this, but it gets better. It's like one of the goals of the century. Watch this. Next still shot. He takes it down on his foot.
Incredible.
In order to keep his stride. And by the way, you notice on a lot of still shots, we use high definition, but by default, because of the speed of the action, we have to apologize sometimes, but it's just reality, because this is the best you can get, is sometimes the ball is blurry because of the pace. But he takes this down just so softly. I mean, practically it's like Velcro on his shoe. And same with his thigh, by the way. You notice that ball didn't go way up in the air, which would have taken away too much time and sent him too far right. He brought it slowly and quickly, low and quick off of his thigh straight to it. And he knew exactly what he's doing. What's the last phase here? He's going to just let it dribble off his foot. He doesn't want it again to go in the air. He wants to keep it low. Now it looks like the keeper, and by the way, I'll just back up one slide here. well defended again here, because the defender at least takes a shot at it, right? Like I was saying earlier, get your foot out there. Don't worry about your hands. Your hands aren't going to be in play here, So well done by the defender. It's a game of inches, and literally like 1 inch Messi finds space. But not only that, it really looks on this next slide right here. It looks like the keeper is going to save that.
Has it in hand practically.
We took this still shot though because the ball has passed his hand by 1,000th of a second right there, because you can see the full ball and you can only see his hand on the other side of the ball. So really cool angle to say what a game of inches. And look at this. Look where Messi puts it, in the side of the net. Okay? You talk about a quality goal. I have a whole series on quality stats that I've created, and quality zones, quality shots, quality chances. And this is a classic one to break down. Here's yet another angle. Keep in mind, Messi's running full speed, and that's a 60-yard pass. Okay, close to a football field, American football field. And he brings it down so gently. He wants to bring it down on his left thigh and his left foot. Although if he needed to, based on his stride, I'm sure he would have taken it with his right thigh or his right foot. And look at the muscles in his legs, by the way. It's crazy. And then look at that. It's just sitting on his foot in full stride. This is why Messi brings joy to so many people in the world, and why football is the beautiful game. And the defender's about to stretch out his leg here. Messi with a beautiful right-footed shot. He's angled his left foot, his plant foot, really well, exactly where he wants to. He's already started to open up his hips and a little bit of his shoulder. Eyes are on the ball. And I love this next image right here, because you can see how he's kind of hooking the ball. Such a fascinating lesson in physics too, because he's going so fast, the ball's going so fast. He knows in his IQ, he's actually aiming for the left post, or even just outside the left post, because he's not going to hit this too hard, and he knows the momentum of the ball is actually going to swing it into the corner. So if you were literally we're right behind the post right here, and it almost looks like that ball's going to hit the post. And look at the defender, like, oh, please defend it. Come on, keeper. Keeper's well positioned, but it just gets past him and into the side of the net. Oh, who do we have here up next? Cristiano Ronaldo. This is his big hat trick game against Spain.
I remember that.
Yeah, 3-3. What a thrilling classic. And this is for the hat trick. This is a free kick. One of the things he's known for. Taking the deep breath before he does the kick. Everyone on the edge of their seat. Spain's got a big wall. Tall people too. They've got Piqué and Busquets. And point of contact. And Ronaldo's classic spin celebration. We'll break down the ball going through the net here right now. So he's got the ball over Piqué. I should say just around. Why? It's another topic, but why the wall is lined up the way it is, just in line with the post, has never made sense to me. Because the players are almost always gonna go around the wall, and if you're right-footed, it's just kind of a natural to curve the ball in. And what a great shot, though. Now it still looks like it may not go in. Cristiano's put some spin on it. It definitely doesn't look like it's going in there, but it dips at the last moment, and the keeper is not even close to that. Great shot. How Cristiano gets so much power on the ball. Even though essentially he's side-footing that surprises a lot of people, but he's hitting that free kick very similar to a penalty kick. These guys are just so strong, they're able to do that, and it provides more accuracy. The side of the foot, obviously more point of contact and more room for error than trying to do it off the shoelaces or right off above the toe. What a great shot. The keeper can only just admire that one. All right, let's move on to the next one here. This is Modric for Croatia. And of course, Croatia made it to the final match in the 2018 World Cup against France. So kudos to them.
It's a great game.
Yeah. Modric is sizing this up. He's receiving the ball midfield, and the defenders are just too far away. They're in a decent shape, you know, with a 4 back, but somebody's got to step up. Modric is way too good, you know, superstar for Real Madrid. And so Modric, I think, is already with his IQ thinking to himself, you know what, I'm going to fake this guy first, okay? And if my forward doesn't make a really great run, I'm actually going to take a shot here. Let's see how this unfolds. He goes to the right, takes a fake shot, and hooks it behind his front leg into the other direction, causing the defender to move to the other direction. Then he puts his foot on the inside of the ball and pushes it back to the right and takes a shot. To the defender's credit, the defender, you know, it's not like the defender fell over. But Modric just knew he needed to buy an extra foot of space, and that's exactly what he did. The keeper's starting to dive already. The ball's going to the right area, and sorry, keeper, but this one is a classic goal right up near the post.
You know, they gave him enough time up there. He could have been drawing schematics of this goal.
Yeah.
There was just enough time.
Yeah, now this is Argentina, and they're very experienced. I will say, even though they gave him too much space, the one thing that the defender did really well that not all defenders do is stay in between the ball and the goal. So Modric went right, and Argentina's player went right. Modric went left, Argentina's player went left without diving in. And even here, he does a great job. Modric moves right one more time. The defender does a great job of extending his foot, moving that direction, and it's a game of inches again. I mean, that's 6 inches, 7 inches. Just a perfect shot by Modric. Man, there's so many great goals in this World Cup.
It's a great view, too, to see the keepers well over to the opposite side. He hasn't kind of moved over with Modric.
Yeah, and it could be that sometimes this happens. His own defender is blocking his view a little bit. So while I'm saying the defender's doing a good job staying between the ball and the goal, sometimes that works against the goalkeeper. It's not easy when you're going up against players like Modric. But look at the accuracy. Even there, it looks like it's going to hit the post. And at the last moment, it curves inside. And I took that photo. I wanted to have that photo because, again, it's right behind the keeper's hand. The keeper looks like he's going to be in position, but it's a game of inches and milliseconds. I mean, look at that. That ball's practically touching the back of his hand. Kind of funny. All right, we're getting...
Does no good on the back of the hand.
Yeah, right? We are getting near the end here. This is...
Look at the crowd. Look at that yellow. That's awesome.
Yeah, Colombia. Okay, this is Colombia. This is a free kick. We'll show a couple different angles.
Colombian fans always show up.
I know. I mean, this is the way they looked for Brazil in 2014, right? Well, this is in Russia. So all these Colombia fans are, you know, making the trip to Colombia. It's crazy. So in this case, this is a free kick. But what's unusual about this free kick is he goes under the wall instead of over the wall. So hard to see from this angle, but I did want to give you, like usual, an overview of the goal first. You can see it goes right in the corner. Now here's a better angle, of course. And once again, he's far away from goal, but he's using the side of his foot. Now, there's even more reason to use the side of your foot here. None of us in the world knew that he was going to go under the wall. But he makes sure that he hits the middle of the ball, not the bottom part of the ball. I know that may seem basic, but it is not. Players at the highest level, I've had discussions with on this, and it's just not, it's not taught. Or emphasized even by the top players. I like how he's leaning to the right hand side too. That's really helping him hit the ball exactly where he wants. And look what Japan does here, like most walls. And of course some teams now have figured this out, right? So they'll actually have a defender laying down on the ground. It's because folks like Messi started breaking the system. Ronaldinho did it years ago.
You know, I wonder if when they started that, the ref on the pitch said, "Oh, good. Is there anything in the rule book about this?
Are you allowed to do that?
Nothing.
So it's not like they don't know to do that, but they just didn't expect this guy for Colombia to do this in the World Cup. They go up, ball stays down. It's a little bit embarrassing. And then the keeper doesn't see it very well, not expecting to be looking down, so gets a late start on it. To his credit, he at least dove and tried to stop it, but really he's right behind the bar. That ball is fully over the line. Remember, the ball has to fully cross the entire line. You get a little bit better angle on this one here. It's definitely behind the line. And then last but not least, many would say this is the top goal of the 2018 World Cup by France. So no surprise that they won the World Cup too, that they would get this. But this was actually against Argentina too, so Argentina's been on the wrong side of a couple of these. This is a wonderful cross. The Argentine defender does a nice job actually of trying to block the cross. The French player does a smart job seeing that coming. Instead of crossing on the ground to the middle of the field, he chips it over the sliding player. Okay, that's step number one. I'm taking you all the way over. It crossed all the way through here to his teammate on the far side, who immediately is going to take a shot on goal here. A volley nonetheless. You can see it's halfway to goal. Don't ask me how it gets through all these players, because you'll see in a moment it really does stay low. It doesn't go higher than 6 feet or so. The keeper's in a good position here, but not good enough. It goes in the side of the net from outside the box, and I think what's spectacular about it partly is just the volley. It's not like it rolled to the ground. And so let's have a different look. Look how he's leaning over. Talk about leaning. He's way at a 45-degree angle. Really, he has that in mind. He's going to put backspin on this ball to keep it low. But also he doesn't want to hit it into the ground. So he leans, and watch this, right in the middle of the ball. You can see the ball coming in now. I'll freeze it here. It's just inside the post. The goalkeeper's already missed it. The goalkeeper's simply just looking now to see if it's going to go in the side of the net. And here's one more angle. And it looks almost from here like he's chopping down on the ball. He's chopping down to get that backspin. So topspin makes the ball go down quickly, backspin keeps it more on a line for a longer period of time. And so he knew what he was doing. Look at this defender. The defender's momentum takes him, unfortunately, out of the way. So the defender's running to cover the shot. The defender looks in good position now, but unfortunately the defender couldn't slow down in time. And this is just a rocket.
They were just chips passing in the night.
Exactly. Keeper does a nice job, was in good position, has his
Great
arms
shot.
fully extended, which some keepers don't always fully extend their arms, which is just astounding to me. Inch perfect.
And again, in that quality zone, it's just hard to defend when you get it done right.
Yeah. I had to put the shot in here too, not only because it's crossing the line right inside the post, but a classic fan shot. This guy's actually working the game, but he couldn't resist his amazement at that shot. So I just love that.
And who could, right?
Yeah.
So thanks so much for watching. If you think about it, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, or commenting. If you have any ideas about videos you'd like to see us do, or how we can improve, please let us know. So thank you so much. We'll talk to you later.